Hello. In Magic the Gathering, what is a card, a creature card that you would say that's very salty? I don't want to play against it. You don't like playing against it. Today we're going up against one of the ones that sometimes people call it very, very salty. They don't like playing against it. I have played against it multiple times. I have some things to say about the card. So in the comments below, let us know what is that card that you're like, oh man, this commander is just so salty. Maybe don't have any. I don't really have a lot like that, but let's take a look and see what this card is here. The card is Atraxa Praetor's Voice. Everyone's favorite Atraxa. It's the 4-color one. I think they're both 4-color actually, but it's Flying, Vigilance, Death, and Nothing, which ton of word on a creature anyways is crazy. It's a 4/4. The crazy one is at the beginning of your end step, proliferate. So why is this one considered salty? A lot of people don't like this card because typically this deck is ran two ways. One is Super Friends, which is Planeswalkers, and it can be very annoying because you just got to keep trying to deal with Planeswalkers to Planeswalker to Planeswalker. There's multiple ways to proliferate, get ultimates, help them get, and then it's just like you can't do anything to the Planeswalkers. Or number two, really, I've seen it played as a poison deck, which is give you one poison counter, and now we just proliferate until you lose the game a couple turns later. And those two ways, a lot of times people find very toxic and not very fun to play against. Honestly, Atraxa. I think it is a strong commander. I think Super Friends is a lot harder to deal with in a sense because there's only a handful of actual Planeswalker board wipes. There are Planeswalker removals, which is why, again, I say run more removal in your deck. We're getting more and more. They've been slowly putting more out there. But at the same time, you got to be careful what you run, what you put in your deck and stuff like that. And so, is this a salty card? I don't think it's overly super salty. It can be annoying to run with, and I can understand frustrations of it, especially if it's a toxic player where they're toxic or poison, where they're just like give you 10 poison counters, you lose the game. I get that. But at the same time, don't let it resolve. Don't let it get on the board. And just know that players should know they're going to be targeted the entire game. Like, there are certain commanders that just like are remove on site, and Atraxa is definitely a remove on site. Typically, let's put it this way, typically. Sometimes, though, I've seen people play Atraxa and not get anything out and then put Atraxa out. And it's like, okay, what are you doing? And you can slowly let them get it, see what they're doing. But as soon as you start getting counters or things for the counter, it's crazy and it's not fun. So is this a super salty card? I don't think it's overly salty, but I can understand people's annoyance and frustration with the deck. It's easy to deal with. It's easy to handle. Just overrun it. The only problem I ever have with it is a Super Friend. Sometimes it can be difficult to get rid of a lot of Planeswalkers that are doing a lot of crazy things. But at the same time, I don't hate any Magic the Gathering Commander decks. As always, thank you guys so much for being here, and we'll see you next time.